So I've been really, really bad. I haven't done one of these in, I don't know, 3 days, maybe, I think. 2, 3, maybe 4. I don't know. I'm not keeping up. um, it's been things a little bit roller coastery. It's busy and let's just sleepy. And then, of course, the House of Cards season 2 released, and, binge watching and no video making. So, um, yeah, oh, and House of Cards season 2, my God. But yeah, Kevin Spacey, Robin Wright, unbelievable, just so good, so good. But I figure I gotta get back into it. Uh, got into a Concrete Blonde binge here for a little bit this evening, and that was very interesting. Uh, because it you know one song brings back a million memories, and when you start binging on somebody like Concrete Blonde, and just the quality of the band, the uniqueness of the guitar, the writing, and of course Jonette's voice. Oh God, yeah, I posted some of it online. Yeah, just so good. God, it brought back a memory of me and my old friend Richard going to see them live on their supposedly farewell tour. Right, I think it was their second farewell tour by then, and hearing them, there was a really neat moment in that concert. There was a band that was fairly awful. I mean, maybe they were a good studio band, but they sure as hell weren't good live. Called the Pylons, and the Pylons opened up for Concrete Blonde, and this was in, I believe, Ann Arbor, Michigan. I believe is where the show was. Anyway, my good friend Rick Brown and I got a couple of tickets and went to go. And we get there in our seats. It's an old theater, so it's that kind of venue. It's nice. And this group, the Pylons, comes on. Guys, I think I need to pull this. Yeah, a little bit of that. Anyway, the Pylons come on, and they're not good. But the girl is playing violin. Um, and I guess that's one of the things, is that the girl plays violin. Um, that being said, uh, God, I don't know if it's required or what, but if you got a violin, you play Bob O'Reilly by the Who, and they go into it, and everybody's kind of into it, and it's good, we're jamming, all right, rock on. And halfway through the song, Concrete Blonde joins them on stage. The whole place just erupts. They go fucking bananas, and it's great. It's a great rock and roll moment, great concert moment. Great. I'm here with my friend Rick. Like yeah, we got that kind of moment. And the girl who played the violin had sung the first verse, or the first and second verse, something like that. And then Concrete Blonde comes on, and Jonette goes to sing, and she's back like 4 feet back from the microphone, and she, and I can't remember the verse, but she just opens up, and it's like the whole place. You could see everybody just go, whoa, pushed back by the power of her voice. And it was interesting when I went on this Concrete Blonde binge tonight. I saw this old review, and some guy said something about the limitations of her voice, and she knows the limitations but works well within them. You know what, buddy? Fuck you. There's no limitations on that voice. She's amazing. All you have to do is one time hear Joey or tomorrow Wendy live, an acoustic will really blow you away. Caroline, so many, bloodletting, but for the power of her voice and the purity of it, the strength of it. I love a good female singer. I really do. I've always enjoyed good female vocalists, with a purity of voice. I'm not a fan. In fact, I'm an anti-fan. I'm a hater. Call me a hater of the vocal acrobats. Um, the Mariah Carey, the Christina Aguilera, the Whitney Houston style of, no, give me someone. You want to talk purity in voice? At Last. It's been redone many times. One wonderfully surprising version of it is Cyndi Lauper. Cyndi Lauper has a much better voice than her pop career would lead you to believe. The girls just want to have fun and shebop. Time after time, you heard some of it, but you didn't hear that much of it. She went and started singing standards and things like that. And when she gets in, she starts singing At Last. When she does At Last, and that At Last, and it just holds it out, and it's this pure tone. The original, yes, that's kind of a given. But to have someone that's like was a freaky pop star with one side of her head shaved, the rest of the hair pink, and goofy homemade dresses and stuff like that. And to have her belt out this standard that just blows you away. I really do love a good, strong, powerful female voice. I think it's impressive. I think it's underrated. I think in a male-dominated, a testosterone-dominated industry like the music industry, a good, powerful female voice can really just rock you to the bones. And I guess that's one of the reasons why I love Jonette. I mean, the themes, obviously, the being of the age that I was in the early '90s when they were really kind of at their peak, I guess, late '80s, early '90s, because they formed in like '76. I mean, they've been around a while, and they were doing like rock, punky rock, kind of jangly punky rock, I guess. But God is a bullet still in Hollywood. But when they matured into the bloodletting album phase, and they were doing these death and sex and goth and vampirism and things like that themes, I was digging it. It was good stuff. I was never a goth myself, but I kind of dug it as a movement. The music that came out of it was really kind of cool. Even bands like The Cure, that were maybe on the fringes of it, if you will. I wasn't so much into the deeper, darker stuff like The Damned or anything like that, but I did like the goth stuff, because when you're young, as I am no longer, when you're in your 20s and whatnot, those themes can pull at you significantly, especially when you put them all in a blender, when you put sex and death and vampirism and blood and the darkness, and I think that's around the time that I had sex in a graveyard and fooled around with a witch. So it's just it all makes sense now. Anyway, so to the many fans I have, all two of you, I think there is. If you haven't spent some time with Concrete Blonde's Bloodletting album, I suggest you do. It's unique in what it is. There's things about it that I really miss in music. The guitar player Jim something, his guitar style is uses fingers, no pick, and the tone that he gets is phenomenal. Jonette's voice, obviously, the songwriting, her bass playing, Really awesome. So if you haven't, spend some time with that album. You'd be amazed. It's a good winter album too. So if there's snow on the ground and it's cold out, it's a little gray. Perfect. But I've rambled long enough. I try to keep these things max 10 minutes and more over 10. So anyway, much love. Be good to each other.